on the year, depends on how good they are. If they send it piecemeal to their students, the students are completely bombarded with this. They get it, at no predictable time. Then you'll have student leadership that puts it into a newsletter once a week, so that the students are getting everything, at one time, and they're getting reminders. So it's very dependent on who in the organization. If we took some of those diversity scholarships and communicated them when there's a partner in New York who's there on business, who convenes a group to discuss, the fellowship, discuss the opportunities, but all of a sudden plops down a fireside chat, out of the blue, and they get so many of these, from firms that they don't know what to do with it. So we have to find a way to harness the goodness, the good things, the good initiatives that are happening, because I don't feel that is done very, effectively. Certainly the recruiting and the retention is a disconnect. The students are very concerned about pipeline issues. I think the days of recruiting, it's like 10, 15 years ago. I think that they know that firms recruit diverse attorneys. But the pipeline, we're not going to get those best athletes or whatever, whatever metaphor one wants to use, unless we start in high school, right? And
eighth grade.
Eighth grade, right? And some organizations are. They're starting with writing. There's a recognition that this doesn't happen just when people get to law school, right? And so there are organizations very much at the forefront of starting, much earlier. But the students are very much concerned about the pipeline issues. There are opportunities, and then there's backlash to opportunities. It's another disconnect. Sometimes I'll talk to a majority student, and I'll say, how are things going? What's the tenor of your class? How are your classmates doing? And they go, well, diverse students are doing just fine. And there's a zing, there. So you're managing a bit of a backlash, as well. So it's another disconnect. So I just wanted to put that out there because I think that everybody is working at this very, very hard, but I just feel like we're missing it. We're missing it.
Dean Haddon?
I just wanted to point out that there are some positive steps, I think, that we've made. We need to have more communications like this. I think we had a fruitful exploration of why clinical education might be of value, even though under the hiring framework that we presently have, for large firms at least, it may not surface. I think similarly there are programs within every law school. Tracy talked about hers. We have a leadership program, and our Leadership Scholars program is how we identify not only strong majority candidates, but strong candidates from diverse backgrounds, and it's a way of recognizing the strengths that they have coming into law school beyond the GPA and the LSAT. And if you cultivate that group of people, then they ought to be the very best of our potential candidates for you, but you have to be able to look beyond the very highest GPA. They may have very, very strong GPAs, but it might not be the top 5%. So some value added like that ought to count in some way. And we